Hey guys, how are you doing? The Wrestling Guy back here today, and I have another special episode for you guys here today because I'm going to be showing you my WWE action figure collection, all of my unboxed figures. I'm going to be showing you guys today every single figure that I own. So if you do go on to enjoy the content, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, turn the bell on, lots more action coming your way. And I just want to say thank you guys for all of your support so far on the channel. I've only been doing the channel a week. I've been having lots of fun doing it, and I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I know a few of you guys have got in touch with me and told me that you guys are really enjoying my content, which is really good to hear. And yeah, I've got a lot more stuff planned for you guys, so I really hope you guys enjoy. But today we're actually going to kick things off with a bit of a surprise for you guys, because I'm going to be doing two figure unboxings. Sorry. Just to give you a bit of a story as to why I'm doing this. Just to give you a heads up, it's none of these guys down here. None of these guys at all, so don't worry about that. Oh, what's on here actually, guys? I'm going to show you this new figure that I got. It came in the post today. It is the, hopefully you guys can see that, it is the Degeneration X Elite Collection first time in the line China and Triple H figure, obviously with the European and the WWE Championship. Really good figure to have, really excited to have that in my collection. And as you can see, I've got it down there with the Hardy Boys. So yeah, I'm really excited to have that one. Did order that one quite a while back, and only arrived today. If I'm honest, completely forgot about it. But yeah, good to have that one in my collection now. Right, so without further ado, back to the story. So I ordered some figures off of the website. I'm not going to name and shame them. But basically they came damaged. The boxes were damaged, obviously no good to me for my display. Don't want damaged figures, so I contacted the companies. They're both going to send me out two of these figures, hopefully in better condition packaging. So I thought, why not for these guys, unbox these guys for you on camera today. So without further ado, the first one we have coming up is the Wrestlemania Basic Edition Seth Rollins. Obviously the bottom is broken, which means I can't stand him up and use him in the display. So let's not waste any more time, let's crack this bad boy open. And see what we got in there, shall we? This is a really cool looking figure actually. Hopefully you guys can see. Yellow and black attire, really cool, good looking figure. This is probably going to be the Seth Rollins that I use in my wrestling shows that I'm doing at the moment. This is probably going to be the Seth Rollins that I start using, because this is much better than the Seth Rollins I've got at the moment, which you guys will obviously see in a moment. I'm really happy to have this one. Really good head scan. The tie looks really detailed. I absolutely love this one. So yeah, that's the Seth freaking Rollins. Next one, Elite Series 83 Rated R Superstar Edge. Really poor packaging on this one. It was obviously opened or something beforehand, and they tried to tape it up. It just didn't really do a good enough job, because it looks god awful. But not to worry, because I am getting another one sent to me, so I'm not going to complain too much. So the first one thing we have coming out is his t-shirt. I'm not going to lie guys, I'm a really big fan of these t-shirts that starting to come out for these action figures now. They look really good, so I'm really happy with that. We've obviously got, oh, can't get that out, two spare hands for the Rated R Superstar. And then obviously we've got the man himself, Edge. Again, this is probably going to be the Edge I'm going to start using for my shows. This is really cool, really good looking figure. The detail is just absolutely incredible. The tie is amazing. Did a really good job on the head scan. The head scan looks absolutely incredible, and obviously I like the little details, like on his beard they've done like the little white and grey specks. This obviously showed that he's a bit older now, which looks really cool, and they've just done such a fantastic job on this figure. And yeah, so glad that I can have one out of the box and one in the box. So yeah, I can display one and I can use one in my shows, so I'm really happy about that. That is awesome. And yeah, put the t-shirt on him in a minute, and I'll show you guys hopefully by the end of the video what he looks like with the t-shirt on. Right, so that's that bit of the video done. Now let's get on to the figures that we have obviously unboxed. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on each figure because there are quite a few in this box. But if there's quite a special one to me, then I will give you a little bit of story about why I got them, when I got them, etc, etc. But for most of them, I'm just going to sort of run my way through them. Just to put it out there, there are a couple of figures in here that have got missing parts, so missing arms, missing legs or something like that, missing hands or something. But I am going to try and fix them up as best I can. I'm going to make that my mission over the next couple of weeks, is to try and fix up as many of these figures as I can. Yeah, so I'm going to show them to you guys anyway, because obviously they are part of my collection, and I think you guys would like to see them. Alright, so I'm not going to waste any more time, let's get into the box. So the first one we have coming up is this quite odd looking Vince McMahon. This is quite a retro figure actually, and obviously you can take the suit off, and you've got quite fiddly actually. You can take the suit off, and you've got, I hope you can see that, the ring attire of Vince McMahon, which is quite cool because I've got a Vince McMahon in the suit, so quite cool to have a Vince McMahon in the ring attire. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, quite cool one to have. Next one we have coming out is Braun Strowman, the monster among men. Obviously, yeah, apologies guys, he has got a missing right hand, but I will try and fix it up the best I can soon. Really like this figure, really cool. Dashing Cody Rhodes. Hopefully you guys can see that again. Really cool looking figure. Tire's awesome, head scan's really good. Really happy to have Cody in my collection. Next up we have Johnny Gargano. Johnny Takeover. Really like this. The attire is absolutely incredible on this figure. The head scan looks absolutely crazy as well. It's a really good looking figure. Really like Johnny Gargano, so really happy to have him. Next up we have the rated R, oh no it is not, sorry, it is the Apex Predator, Randy Orton. Quite cool looking figure, it's quite flimsy this figure, but it's just still good to have a Randy Orton. It's my favourite type of Randy Orton as well, obviously when he was a bit younger. It's an awesome figure. Next up we have Gold Dust, obviously Cody Rhodes' brother. Obviously now better known as Dustin Rhodes in AEW. We've got obviously the Dustin Rhodes figure in my AEW collection. For those of you who haven't seen that, go back and check out my other unboxing videos where we did unbox Dustin Rhodes. So yeah, really good looking figure, Gold Dust. Next up we have our Universal Champion at the moment in our show. Obviously not in real life, he's the WWE Champion in real life, but in our show, the Universal Champion, the Scottish Psychopath, Drew McIntyre, obviously with the Universal Championship belt there. Really cool, really like having Drew, he's a really cool looking figure. Next up we have a slightly older figure, obviously he's got a bit of a rattle going on. The Big Red Monster Kane, hopefully you can see these. Really good looking figure, really like Kane. Obviously getting a bit flimsy now because I've had him for quite a while. We have one half of our Raw Tag Team Champions, Alberto Del Rio. Again, really cool looking figure, head scan attire is really brilliant, and obviously one half of our Raw Tag Team Champions at the moment. Next up we have the Moscow Mauler, Vladimir, Kozlov. Yeah, as I said guys, again this is a bit of an older figure as well. You might see the paint is starting to come off it a little bit, but still really cool looking figure, really like Vladimir Kozlov. Next up we have the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. Really cool figure, obviously in the full suit, looks really good. Apologies, this one has an arm missing, but is the Brian Kendrick when he was in a tag team with Paul London. Really cool. You can try and find an arm for him at some point. Next we have, someone better get him some biscuits and gravy because it's Jesse. Really cool figure. Obviously got the missing left hand, which we will try and fix up at some point, but then again, I'm not going to complain too much. This is quite an old figure. I've had this for years and years now, so yeah, really big fan of Jesse, and yeah, I use him quite often in my shows. Next up we have one half of the Hardy Boys, Matt Hardy. This was just before he started doing his working Matt Hardy stuff. Really cool looking figure. Next up we have the other half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, Finn Balor. So obviously we've got Del Rio and Balor. Obviously part of the story we're doing our show at the minute is obviously Balor and Alberto Del Rio, the unlikely tag team, managed to defeat the undefeated Shield. So yeah, perhaps we'll start putting a couple of videos up on the channel for you guys to watch shows, because we've got some good storylines going on there at the minute. Really awesome. Up next we have one half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. It is Wade Barrett. I love this figure. I've had this figure for a couple of years now. I really like it. Use it quite often. Obviously, it's, yeah, one half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Next up we have Stone Cold Steve Austin. Obviously with his shorts and t-shirt on. Quite an old figure, this one. But yeah, I use this one a lot for like the promos and stuff that he does in the ring. Because I have got a Ring attire Steve Austin as well. Okay, up next we have one of my many Kurt Angle figures. Quite a basic figure, this one, but yeah, really cool. Really good looking figure. Next up we have Montel Vontavious Porter MVP in this basketball gear. Really good looking figure. Like this one a lot. Next up we have our 24/7 champion at the moment. It is Hulk Hogan. Yeah, sorry Hulk. Hopefully our truth will win that back off of you soon. But yeah, Hulk Hogan is our 24/7 champion at the minute. Really cool figure. Next up we have Sami Zayn. This was his NXT, I think, figure. Really cool looking figure, Sami Zayn. Really like that one. Next up we have this guy also could do some biscuits and gravy. It is Jesse's tag team partner, Festus. So yeah, got Jesse and Festus, really cool. Really glad to have both of them again. Had that figure for a while as well. Next up, we have the WrestleMania 23 edition John Cena. Obviously when he was WWE Champion. Really cool looking figure. Again, I had this one for a couple of years, so it's starting to get a little bit loose around the arms and the legs, but yeah, still a really cool figure. Next up we have another Matt Hardy. Really like this one. Obviously, unfortunately got the missing left hand, but yeah, still really cool figure. Next up we have Brian Kendrick's tag team partner, Paul London. Really cool. Had this one for a couple of years as well. Next up we have one of my many Triple H figures. I think this one came with a jacket, which I'll have to find at some point. Really cool. Next up we have Chris Benoit. I was really happy to get hold of this figure. I think I got this one in the eBay auction. Really cool figure to have. Again, use this one quite often. Next up we have John Morrison in his promo gear. I call it his promo gear. Really cool looking figure. And to go alongside him, I have got the Miz somewhere, which we will see later on. Next up we have, again in this promo gear, SmackDown t-shirt, obviously Funaki, with the missing right and left hand, which we will sort out at some point. No immediate rush for that one though. Next up we have the Undertaker. This is an old Undertaker one. I have got a newer Undertaker version in there somewhere, but this is the old Undertaker version. Quite a cool figure. Next up we have the show off Dolph Ziggler. I really like this figure. This is one of my favourite figures to use for my shows. Really like the show off. Next up we have another Kurt Angle figure, this time in this sling nut. Really cool figure. This is the one I use quite a lot. So nice and bright and colourful. Really good figure. No, this one's a bit odd. This is an old figure. This is an old Big Show figure. Missing right arm and obviously left hand. Still a cool figure to have. I don't use him obviously, but do still look at him time again. Next up we have Finlay. A really good looking figure, really nice and colourful. Next up we have Kevin Thorne. Now we did have a tie, but it's come off unfortunately. Again, had this one for years and years now. Still in quite good condition considering how much I use him. So yeah, I really like that Kevin Thorne figure. Up next we have Carlito, the missing right arm. Really, really cool. Next up, the Velveteen Dream. And somewhere we did have his scarf and head bandana as well. Again, I'll have to find that for you guys at some point, but yeah, I use this one quite a lot, the Velveteen Dream, really, really cool figure. Next up we have the Intercontinental Champion at the moment for our show. Murphy, the Disciple Murphy. Really, really cool looking figure, this one. I'm really happy to have it in my collection, quite a new figure, that one. Next up we have Cesaro. Really like this figure. This is a newer Undertaker that we've got, the new Undertaker. This is the one we use quite often. The Undertaker. I had to get a newer one. I got an old one and a new one, which I'm really, really glad about. Kevin Owens. Really, really cool. Like this figure. This is our new Kevin Owens that we got. We did have a Kevin Owens previous, which may be in this box. I'm not entirely sure. But he did have a, I think his arm came off or something. So yeah, we did treat ourselves to a new one. Really, really cool Kevin Owens. Because we do use Kevin Owens quite a lot. So yeah, we had to get a new Kevin Owens. Next one we have coming out is our WWE Champion, Daniel Bryan. Really, really cool figure. And obviously, yeah, it's our WWE Champion at the moment. Next we have coming out is The Rock in his promo gear. Really, really cool. Quite an old figure, this one. We have Seth freaking Rollins, obviously at the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. This is the Seth Rollins we're using at the moment, but obviously we're going to probably start using that old one because it's a bit of a better figure. This one's we've had for a couple of years now. Obviously, SmackDown Tag Team Champions with Wade Barrett. Next up we have Kofi Kingston. It's quite a new figure that we managed to get hold of. Obviously, a head scan's brilliant, the tie is really nice and colourful, yeah. But I really love Kofi Kingston. I'm going to start using him quite a lot in our shows. Next up, we have the ring attire version of The Rock. Again, quite an old figure, but a really, really cool figure to have in my collection, and we use him quite often. It's the most electrifying man. And we've got another version of The Rock. It's a small version of The Rock here as well, which we don't use at all. Can't even remember where we got that one from. Next up, this is one of our favourite figures to use. It is the one and only Ricochet. Really, really cool attire on this one. The gold and the black and the white looks really, really good. And obviously, Ricochet himself is a really, really cool figure. Really glad to have that one. Next up, we have the Shield version of Dean Ambrose. As you guys know, the Shield is my favourite faction of all time. Favourite tag team of all time. Really, really happy to have this Dean Ambrose. Really lucky to have the Shield version as well. It's a really, really cool figure. Next up we have the old school Vince McMahon figure in his suit, which we use which we use quite a lot when we do some corporate stuff. Next up we have an old school rule version of Chris Jericho. Obviously his Raw is Jericho t-shirt there. Tie is really, really good. Head scan is good for the time. Quite an old figure. Obviously with the missing left, right hand, sorry, which we will try and get done at some point because this is an awesome figure and we'd hate to not be using it. So it's really, really cool. Next up we have a Ric Flower figure in his suit. Really, really cool. Obviously got the missing tie, unfortunately. Up next we have Neville. Obviously now packing AEW, but yeah, this is Neville. Really, really cool. We've got one of our many R-Truth figures. This is when he was part of the Awesome Truth with The Miz, because he's got his shut up written on the back instead of what's up. Really, really cool figure. And this one, really nice and detailed actually. Next up we have, this is our other Kevin Owens that we were using before. This is the NXT version of Kevin Owens. But as you can see, the missing left arm, hence why we got the other one. But yeah, it's another Kevin Owens. We have a Mick Foley. Quite an older version of Mick Foley. We would like to get a couple of other Mick Foley figures at some point, maybe a Mankind or something. When we get chances. Another The Rock figure. Another Austin. This one in time in his ring attire. Really, really cool looking figure. Hopefully you guys can see these. Yeah, another Austin. This is our ring attire version of John Morrison. Unfortunately got the missing left leg. Don't think this one's salvageable, unfortunately. Still a cool figure. Our ring attire version, this is a newer version, I think this is like 2008 sort of time. Chris Jericho figure, really, really cool. Y2J, obviously. Love Chris Jericho. The ring attire version of Funaki. See the SmackDown. No, nice and colourful. This one. Next up we have King Booker. Another Rated R Superstar Edge that we have. Really, really cool figure still. Triple H figure, unfortunately, got a missing head. This is Mr. Kennedy. Obviously, yeah, this is quite an old figure as well. This is one of my first figures that I ever got, so yeah, quite an old figure. It's Hyla Breeze. Really, really detailed figure. Nice attire, nice head scan. Looks just really brilliant. Bubba Ray Dudley. Haven't got the Evil, unfortunately, because I got this one in an eBay bundle, but yeah, Bubba Ray Dudley. From obviously the Dudley Boys. Got the Jeff Hardy to go with that Matt Hardy that we had in the earlier on. Really, really cool looking figure. We've got the promo version of The Miz. Really, really cool. Obviously to go with that John Morrison. We've got the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. This is one of our favourite figures. We use this one all the time in our shows. Really cool looking figure. The detail on this figure is absolutely incredible. The tattoos, the head scan, the attire just all looks brilliant. Really, really good figure. Next up we have an old, this is a really old, Shelton Benjamin. Really, really cool. Would like to get a newer version of Shelton Benjamin at some point, if one's available. Next we have Sin Cara. Obviously this is an odd one because this is I can't remember what this type of figure was. They only brought out a couple of them. Yeah, this is a Sin Cara. They see another Shelton Benjamin. Unfortunately, this one has got a missing right arm. Next up we have Rob Van Dam. Unfortunately, with two missing arms. Hopefully good. I really want to fix this figure up at some point, so hopefully I can find some arms to go with this one because I would love to start using this Rob Van Dam again. Big fan of Rob Van Dam. Next up we have, this guy did have a vest. Here it is. I won't waste your time putting it on him now, but this is Rosie. Obviously this comes with his vest that he puts on as well. Really, really cool. Next up we have the missing left arm, unfortunately, Andre the Giant. Classic, really classic figure. Love Andre the Giant. Really, really glad to have him. Next time we have is Hardcore Holly. Retro figure. This one, had this one for so long. Still in really good condition. Really, really like him. Next up we have the Shield version Roman Reigns to go with that Dean Ambrose, which I use all the time. This is the only unboxed Roman Reigns that I have. Also, I've got the boxed version here of Roman Reigns. But this is the only unboxed version of Roman Reigns I have, the Shield one. And I'm not going to complain because, like I said, I love the Shield version of these figures. They look really, really good. Okay, next up we have an old school Matt Hardy figure. Really, really cool figure to have this one. It's a classic figure. Really, really happy to have this one in my collection. Okay, we're going to come down to the final few now. Next up we have is the promo version of Eddie Guerrero. I use this one as my general manager figure at some points. Really, really cool figure to have. Love Eddie Guerrero. Next up we have Rikishi. Really cool figure. I love this figure. Awesome. And got a couple more figures to go, guys. Next up we have is another R-Truth figure. A little Jimmy on the back there. Next up we have Albert. Really, really cool. And just a couple of extra bits at the bottom for you guys. We have a WWE Championship. We have a United States Championship. We have Queen Charmel to obviously go over our King Booker. We have AJ Styles' jacket. We have a little Triple H figure. And I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We've just got a couple of these little figures at the bottom here, like these little Rumbler figures that we have, that we used to collect a couple of years ago. So yeah, that is my full unboxed WWE figure collection. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, like I said, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, turn the bell on, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.